How far is it then from the coast right up to the north to the Angolan border?
From where our expedition started up to the Kunini River, it's about a 950 kilometer stretch.
Wow.
Which, if you take 900 kilometers on tarmac, is 10 hours driving. And this took us 8 days, so it's quite a drive.
Part of the excitement, I suppose.
Yeah, it makes it still rough and adventurous. Still wild, which is the mission, the idea.
You've really got to know the area yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to. You can't just drive into an area and hope for the best. You must be prepared.
Well, it took us a whole day to drive on really, really tough terrain to get here to the Kunene River, which forms the border between this side, which is Namibia, and over there is Angola. And this particular spot, the Apupa Falls, is a really great place to set up camp and just relax and recover from a pretty tough journey. Susa, this rough terrain seems to be taking its toll on the vehicles, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You see there's quite a bit of maintenance to it. It's no major breakdowns, it's just checking the oil, water, and it's necessary every day. Tighten a few screws, etc., etc. It must be done. Like you saw yesterday, the terrain is quite hard. And,
yeah. You've got to cope with a lot of different things as well, the sand and the rocks and all sorts of things along the way.
Yeah, we do. We had some days where we lose 6, 7 wheels, and then some days none. So it's unpredictable, you can never say. But you must be prepared, ready with all the equipment, gear. So it doesn't matter what happens, you're in the right position to repair. That's it.
Well, you got us all here in one piece, that's the main thing. Beautiful spot for camping. So you've even got proper showers here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of luxury, but it's necessary.
What do we actually do around this area? What happens?
You see, this is Himba land, Kaoka land basically. And the main mission here is seeing the Himba and their cultures. They're one of the last traditional tribes in Africa. We'll go out this afternoon when it's a little bit cooler, see what they can teach us.
There's certainly a lot of animals around. I don't see many people there.
I must say we're quite lucky. The headman will always be around and some of his herders as well. Let's just go and greet the headman there. Okay. Karamata is his name.
Do you speak the language then?
Very little. I won't say I speak it, I can communicate. But Timu on my right hand side, he's actually the guy that sits on the language side, the main cat.
So if I want to communicate with them, I'm going to have to ask you a question in English. You speak to him in Afrikaans, and then
we'll get it back. So there's going to be two, 3 middlemen. Okay. But I think we'll get to the point eventually. Moro meme.
Moro moro. Yeah, I'm going now. Moro
moro.
He's one of the herdmen. So
it's quite a handshake.
Absolutely. Moro meme, wapenduga. Operenawa.
What's she making here?
Okay. She's grinding some maize into a powder and then they boil it with water. Ame or himba? Timo, what's he say? No, she's just saying this is the himba machine to grind their maize.
To make flour?
That's it, to make flour basically, yeah.
Looks like quite hard work. Even her young daughter is doing the same thing on the other side of the kitchen.
Yeah, she's helping mommy. The word himba means beggar. They were divided by tribal wars 150 years ago. The locals, they called them beggars because they were raided from the cattle, etc., etc. Then they came back at the beginning of this century, back over the Kunini River, and they stay in the mountains. And they're quite a strong group of people today.
What about those necklaces that all the kids are wearing?
It's made from leather and ostrich egg shell. You'll see that the ponytails on the kids are different. If they've got 2 ponytails hanging to the front, it means it's a girl. Till she's 16, 17 years old, and then they will change it, because then she normally gets married.
What's this that the women wear in their hair, the sort of red clay?
It's a natural hair, and then it's red iron oxide mixed with goat fat. It's also this red ochre that they put on their skins. It's only the woman that does it, not the men. It protects them against sun, mosquitoes, insects, etc., etc.
How lovely. Does this ever come off? It looks like I've got a great tan, doesn't it? It does mean you have beautiful skin. Very nice. This wasn't supposed to happen. It somehow looks great on them, but it doesn't look that brilliant on me. Oh no.
On bawah?
It's highly amusing, isn't it? What's in Buffer? Can you stop now, please? Timo, help, translate. I know, you think it's hysterical, don't you? I have red legs now, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, sadly, this is the end of my expedition through the Namib Desert. It really was a tough journey through very difficult, changing terrain, but well worth it. The best bit for me, to be honest, was tracking down the black rhino, because so few people get the chance to see them in their natural habitat. But now it's time for me to say farewell to my companions and cool off with them.
Welcome all of you, welcome all of you to the tented camp. Welcome all of
Hello.
you, welcome all of you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Lina. Welcome to Ongava.
Thanks, Lena. That's just what I need. Excellent. Very smart.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Chris. How are you doing?
Hi, Chris. I'm Anna.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Are you a guide round here?
That's right, yeah.
This is a bit smarter than what I've become used to.
Really?
Yeah, we've been camping across the Namib Desert.
Sounds exciting, yeah, great.
It's been terrific, but I think I just need to relax a bit and be spoiled.
You're going to get that, yeah.
Excellent. These permanent tented camps seem to be springing up all over southern Africa, with running water, bathrooms, en suite, and it's kind of a luxury alternative to roughing it in the bush. This camp's been built right on the edge of the Etosha National Park to give you maximum chance of seeing a lot of game. Chris, what's different about the Ongava Game Reserve then?
Well, the major difference between Ongava and, for instance, Etosha National Park is that in Ongava it's our private property, so we're able to leave the vehicles if we so desire, leave the road if we want to track game. And we know pretty much the movement of our animals, so we won't be walking for miles through the bush and not seeing anything.
It's kind of a strange thing to do though, isn't it? You know, you want to get as close as possible to an animal and then you get scared because it's dangerous and so you sort of run away again.
That's right, yeah. We actually want the fear, we need that fear, and being in Africa is about living with big, dangerous animals.
What I want you to do is shadow me. If I go down, you go down. If I stop, you stop. Whatever you do, don't run.
Now, white rhino are definitely a bit more placid than the black.
There doesn't seem to be any difference in colour. That might sound an obvious thing to say.
The name white rhino comes from the Dutch word meaning wide. In English it became white. It was just a misunderstanding really.
And what does the wide refer to then?
He's got a much wider mouth.
It's my first sighting of a white rhino in the wild.
She's a beaut.
I must admit my heart starts racing when she turns around.
When she looked at us. Yeah.
You can't help it, can you? I guess that's the thrill of the safari, isn't
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's the adrenaline rush of seeing it and seeing it up close. Yeah. Got some bad weather moving in. Looks like we might have some heavy rain tonight.
Visitors in the dry season can expect to see hundreds of animals at the waterholes, but the unseasonal downpour meant that most of them had dispersed deep into the bush. I wasn't really too disappointed. This trip wasn't about seeing lots of animals in the safety of a national park. It was really much more about the expedition itself and tracking the rare ones in their own environment. That, for me, was really special.